What's up, internet world? Today is, I think it's what, the 24th? The 25th. Today is the 25th of February. You heard me. 2024. And today makes right of the week. Since we had the, matter of fact, let me, before I go into it. Into it, let me just put this disclaimer out there. The views and opinions in this video and content on this channel do not necessarily reflect fact or fiction. They are opinions on current events based upon the information that is available at the time of this recording. Okay? The content is based on opinion and is made for entertainment purposes only. Okay? This is just entertainment. Okay? So you can form an opinion, you can get mad, you can do whatever you want to do by watching this broadcast, and you have your right to that. Now, with that being said, it makes a week since they had the, let me get back over here. Since they had the trucker strike, started by the lawsuit that was created against the former president Donald J. Trump, okay, for $355 million they brought against this man. And apparently they brought these charges up against Donald Trump for inflating the value of his properties in the Big Apple, the state of New York City, them Yankees as they call them. And the charges of inflating the value of your property, said by Letitia James, is fraudulent. And I don't know how I really feel about that, fraudulent claim, because as they say, everybody that's in the real estate game does that. You're trying to capitalize as much as you can, and it's not up to Donald Trump to be honest about the value of his properties. If the banks that he go to will allow him to, if the banks that he goes to will allow him to say that the property is worth $2 more than what it's actually worth, that's on the bank. If the bank is willing to give him a loan saying that, hey, as long as you pay this money back, we'll value your properties at $2. As long as you're willing to pay the $2 back. That's just, the nature of business when you're dealing in real estate. Now, you have a lot of people that have gotten upset because they feel that Donald Trump, he plays the game of American economics too dirty for them, and they don't like the fact that he's able to avoid taxes and all that kind of stuff. But I really think a lot of people are not liking the fact that they're not able to play the game in the same manner that he does, and I think that's where people get their standpoint of not liking Donald J. Trump at this point. Because, 20 years ago, Donald J. Trump was the man. Everybody wanted to be, in the company of Donald Trump then, because he was kind of like the rich guy who, he was a well-known name that was a rich guy and didn't have to necessarily be he didn't necessarily have to be in the entertainment world. But will you bring me my tablet? Sure. he didn't necessarily have to be funded, I should say, through the same avenues that people in the entertainment world are funded. He was able to be in entertainment, or not necessarily in entertainment, but he was able to mingle in with the A-listers, and he didn't necessarily have to have the same behavior as the A-listers because he had his money coming in from a different source. So he could, mingle with the A-listers and kind of operate in a way to show them that, hey, I'm the big dog around you guys. You guys may be the big dog around everyone else. Thank you. You guys may be the big dog around everyone else, but I'm the big dog around you guys. You know, and I think that kind of set him apart years ago, and established him as someone who people kind of look to with a high regard because he was the money man. He had money, he could make moves. He's been around the clubs, he's been around the high profile people. He's been around where expensive champagne bottles are being popped. The expensive girls are showing the attention to the guy with all the money. He's been around all of that. So with him being, a high list celebrity, not necessarily being in the world of entertainment until he came with the show, The Apprentice, people looked at him as their hero. Now, as he drifted over into politics, the media has been able to paint him in a certain kind of fashion to where, they don't really like Donald Trump now because, his stance point on politics. And that has been able to, the media has been able to uh, overlay their disdain for Donald Trump onto the American people, certain people anyway. You always have those who they're not able to do their own research. They just go along with whatever they feel the majority or whatever the word on the street is. If you can feel me on that. But I want to look at something real quick because, in my opinion, I don't really feel that Donald Trump really did that much of a crime groundbreaking event. Um, if we kind of just look at some of the real estate market. Now we're going to go into Zillow here. I want to just go into Zillow here, and I just want you guys to look at some of the things that they have here on Zillow. Now, when they say that Donald Trump inflated, his properties to get bigger loans from the bank, this property here, as you can see, it's been on Zillow for 2 days. It has going on about 1,200 views, 106 saves. This is going to be located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. Now, if you look here, okay, this home in 2016 was valued at 170,000 right here in 2016. If we go back a little bit further to 2014, it was right at, let's go to the beginning of 2014. There's April, valued at 158,000. All right, now here we go over here to 2024. And now we have that house valued at almost 3 times as much as it was 10 years ago in 2014. We're sitting right at about $504,000 as the value of this house. Now, who's actually putting the value on this house? Okay, that's pretty much what they're saying that Donald Trump did. He's inflating the value of the homes, okay, or the value of his property. Now, if I'm someone who I own this property, right? Let's look at the sale history of this property. And that was the Zillow estimate. Okay, this property sold in 2016 for 192,000. Okay, so the person that bought this house in 2016 has held this house for about 8 years. Now, are we supposed to say that this person is illegally inflating the value of this home because they have it listed for twice as much? You see here, there's 192,000, and then we have 494,000 that the house is being listed at as of yesterday, or excuse me, as of 2 days ago. Now, this person has held this home for 8 years, since 2016, and here it is, 2024, and this person has this house listed for twice as much in change. Okay, 192 and 192 equals 380. Okay, and then we're talking about another 100,000 on top of that 380. So are we saying that this person is breaking the law in the same manner that Donald Trump is breaking the law because they have a home that they are listing for way more than what they bought it for? Is that fraudulent inflation? Okay, maybe so. Maybe so. But if so, then that means that the entire housing market. Now, look at this one right here. One thing I didn't point out on the last one, I'm going to point it out on this one. Okay. This one here, as we can see from the outside, there's you see the dirt on the bottom and all that. Look at the bricks, how they don't look like they had anything done to them in a long time. Okay. The inside here doesn't look too bad. Okay. We're not going to go into the photos, but this is 90 saves. This house has been on Zillow for 44 days, has almost 13 and a half hundred views. All right. Nobody's really biting on this one just yet. All right. Usually houses around here that are pretty decent, they're renting this out or trying to rent it out for 1,800 a month, as you can see there. But houses like this don't usually stay on the market very long. People are buying these houses up. Now here it is. This house sold 2 years ago for 252,000. Okay, and now they're listing it 2 years later for 409,000. Now, are we supposed to say that they're illegally inflate? Look at here, 2018. This home sold for $74,000. Okay, that's 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Okay, seven. Okay, times six is how much? It's 35. So we can say right at about 7 times the value that this home was listed at in 2018 that they have it listed now. Look at the tax value. See, a person can list it for whatever they want to. I can list my home for whatever I want to. If someone buys it, that's on them. I don't have to list it for whatever I feel like the market says I have to list it for. If I list it for $5 billion and a man feels like, hey, I want to buy that property right there because there's oil up under the ground right there, and I can capitalize off of the land rights or whatever, then that's my right to sell it to him at that price. But here, look at the tax value. See, this is what we need to look at. The tax value shows me that in 2021, this home was only worth $90,000. In 2022, this home is only worth $90,000, $91,000 anyway. But if we come here in 2022, where it says the house was sold for 252,000, but the house value was only 91,000. The tax value here is only 91,000. So we're saying 9 times 3, 27. So we're looking at almost 3 times the value here of the house being sold. And then 2 years later, we're looking at almost 8 times the value. Okay. Maybe 7 times the value. When we come up here and we see this house being listed, this house was only listed last month. Okay. And they dropped the price of it 10,000 down to 409. Okay. Now, before we lose track of what we're looking at, look at this home. Is this home worth $500,000? I mean, it's shy 100,000 of half a million, but to me, this is not a $500,000 home, especially when it was listed less than 8 years ago for less than 100,000. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's see what else they got listed in here. I really want to give homes that look, this home right here, this is not new construction. So let me point out this on this home that I didn't point out on the last home. So we can um we can get a little bit better understanding of exactly what we're looking at here. This house has been on Zillow for 143 days. You got right over 3,000 views, 174 saves. All right. Now, again, this home is being listed for 485,000. That's almost half a mil. All right. This is a this is a 3 bedroom. Pretty nice. Got 3 full bathrooms. I like that. You got a garage here. Let's see, service availability. They're not really showing me exactly when the home was constructed, but here we are, 10 years ago, 2014, at 116,000, 162,000, excuse me, 162,000, and from 2000, see, look at these prices here. Okay, just less than 4 years ago, in 2020, this house sold for 250,000. Okay, in 2023, last year, they listed it for 545,000. Okay, now are we supposed to look at them like they're inflating the prices of these homes? According to the charges that they're pulling against Donald Trump, that's what we're supposed to be doing, because the value of this home, as we see, and if you're looking at this home here, just look at these pictures here. This is not new construction, even though the home is well manicured, the yard is well manicured. To me, that's not a $500,000 home. Okay, let's see if we can find something that has a little bit more of a like this. So we'll go into the millions. Okay, this is a really nice home right here. Check that joint out. Okay, we're looking at $2.5 million for a 5 bedroom, 6 bath. Okay, HOA fees $33 a month. I really don't like HOA fees, but this home's been on Zillow for 4 days. Got right over 2,250 views, 143 saves. It's a hot little eye catcher. All right. What else we got going on here? We got the value of this home 10 years ago, 2015, 1.7 million in 2014. Okay. Now this home is being valued at 2.5 million dollars. Okay, so 2014 it was valued at 1.7. Now we're valuing it out at, and it looks like here, okay, in June of 2023 they doubled up. They listed the home for $3.1 million, which would be a double from the 1.7. All right, now here's a little small history of the selling of this house, which is really not moving very much. It was listed in 2002, 2018, excuse me, 12 of 2018, 12 2, right at under 2.5 million. Here it was listed for a little under 2 mil. So these homes, are they inflating the value of these homes here? Why not? Look at the home. Has nice features, you know, stone, nice lighting. Look at the high ceiling here on this picture. You know, look at the high ceiling this is like a foyer area, outside eating area, outside hanging area. Got the TV on the wall, fireplace. Why not list this home for more than the value of it? Let's move on. See what else we got here. See, I like to look at these little homes like this because these little homes like this one, they're they're easily identified as homes that are not new construction. So we can see how people actually inflate the value of homes like this, which is the same crime that we should be accusing these people of if we're going to be accusing Donald Trump of it. Okay, 179,000 back in 2014, 10 years ago. Now here we are at 2024. This is a day ago. This house is listed for 499,000. Okay, looks like they probably dropped the home price a little bit. Well, no, they just listed it yesterday. Listed for sale 499,000, which is 200+% of where it was sold in 2005. 2005, this home sold for 165,000. In 2003, it sold for 100,000. So we're looking at 21 years ago. Now, this is very important because they said that Donald Trump did tax fraud over a course of the last 10 years. So if we're looking here, we're looking back at a history of 20 years when we go here. When we go here, 2003, that's 20 years ago. And this home was 106,000 20 years ago. So let's go to our chart here. And if we're here in 2024, okay, we're in 2024, and we have this chart listing it at 499,000, which is 500. And Donald Trump has been accused of doing fraud over the last 10 years. This chart goes back exactly 10 years. So there's April 2014, where this home is worth 179. It's not even worth that. That's how much it's being listed at. You see, because the home was sold in 2003 for 106,000. So is that the actual value of the home? Let's look at the tax history and see how far the tax history will go back and see what they're listing the home as. Look at there. Once we go back to 2001, okay, 2000, 25 years ago, this home is tax valued at 88,000. Okay, 88,000. 25 years later, we have it. It's 4 times the value, 5 times the value. 25 years later, 24 years later. So how are we accusing someone of doing fraudulent claims with their property? Okay, I don't really understand how we can bring those type of charges up on Donald Trump if we can clearly see that that's what the real estate market is all about. You have properties, you put prices on properties, and you look for a profit. That's real estate. So in my opinion, I really don't feel that that these charges are legitimate. I don't feel that they're going to stick. They've already placed judgment, but we're going to be on hold to see if the appeal is going to actually be effective. But it's apparent that they're trying to bake a cake on Donald Trump, and it seems that the main ingredient in the cake is jealousy and hatred. Man, y'all put that in your little pipe and smoke it, man. As I always say, don't lighten up, tighten up. I'll see you on the next one.